Hello everyone, welcome into Old Mountain Bricks. Today we're back with the latest LEGO news and deals for March 2025. January had a lot of sets, February was a little light, but March has a lot of great sets we've got to cover, so let's jump right into it. Looking at the LEGO website here, there's a few things that are coming to mind, so let's go ahead and find the sets that are coming out now. First one up, we're going to start with one of the heavy hitters. Coming March 15th, not the 1st, is the Dinosaur Fossils Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is a huge set. It's like 3 feet long or a meter long and contains a bunch of tiny little pieces, hopefully a nice printed plaque, some Jurassic Park figures there. And yeah, see, this thing is huge. For 3,145 pieces for $250. So the price per piece is there. Of course, it's a lot of small pieces. I think it might be a little repetitive, but I think it's going to be a great set if you're into it. The head is the same as the diorama that came out last year, but I don't think that's a bad thing because it looks pretty good. But now we've got the rest of the dinosaur. Next one, this one is coming up on March 1st. This is the French Cafe for $80. It's kind of giving me modular vibes. Of course, it's not a modular building. As you can see, the back of it here is a little ugly if you look at it. So obviously, it's definitely got to go like on a bookshelf or something. So maybe this is an alternative to modular buildings for folks that maybe don't have room for them, because it still looks like a nice set. But in order to put something like this in a city, you'd have to buy a bunch of these or modify it a whole bunch. But I think for what it is, 1,100 pieces for $80, that's not too bad. And I think those are all printed pieces. So I think it could be worth getting if you think it looks nice. For me, it's probably a skip. One of the other big sets coming out is Ninjago City Workshops. So I'm not really into Ninjago. I just never really got into it. But the Ninjago City sets, like the gardens and the workshops and markets and stuff, are just really cool sets. This one is interesting because it's like an inverted corner, and we don't really get those in LEGO, even though they exist in real life. These come with a lot of awesome minifigures, of course, from the show, some ones that are new, I believe it said, and the cool mech that could be worked on in the middle. If you have the Ninjago City sets, definitely worth getting, but for me, I don't have any of the other ones. But I think price per piece is good on this one too, and it's just going to be a nice looking set to put with all those other ones. Of course, there is a lot of Formula One stuff this year because they just did a recent partnership. Last year it was a bunch of space related things. This year it's Formula One. So we've got like the upscaled minifigure again. This is like the racing driver is all it's called there for like Octane. So it's just basically the other ones that you've seen, like Harry and Hermione, and then just the plain one with like the red shirt. And everything. So if you're into it, could be worth having, but I think they've already done it before, so I don't think that's something most folks are going to buy. So I don't see this one selling super well because it's not really an F1 car, and it's just a really big minifigure for a non-branded team, just a LEGO theme, the Octane. Here's just another kind of LEGO City set with some F1 cars there. $30 for 313 pieces, not too bad. So you get some non-branded F1 cars, but not too bad for 3 minifigures and a couple cars. Next one's the Speed Champions. This is the Ferrari version, and I think that one actually looks pretty cool. Of course, these are going to be covered in a ton of stickers. So if you're into the stickers or not into the stickers, it's going to be a tough one to do, but I think it's going to be great if you're into that, and I'm glad that they at least do these kind of things. I don't think they need to do the smaller stuff and the upscale minifigure, but just doing some Speed Champions I think is the way to go with F1 cars. On to some Transformers. Of course, we've got the buildable Transformers that have come out here. So they've continued this partnership with the Transformers there in order to do BrickHeads. And this is a little deceiving here. It is not one BrickHead, but it is actually 2 BrickHeads. Is one as just a little truck and one as Optimus Prime itself. I thought it was just kind of showing both versions of it, but it is 2. And these should be printed pieces with it, so it's a cool 2-pack you can get for $20 there. I think Optimus looks pretty good with it. If you're into BrickHeads, definitely a good one to get. And of course, we've got the same thing with Bumblebee, kind of similar to the other buildable thing we've got here recently. So we've got him in the car form and in his like robot form. So I think these look pretty good. Optimus, I think, looks a little bit better, but the bug does come across pretty good in this small scale. So I think this one also is pretty good. One of the surprise sets that I'm sure you've seen by now is the AT-AT driver helmet. The helmet line was thought to be done and gone, but it is still here. And it looks like a great set, so if you've got any of the helmets, this is going to be a good one to pick up. It's $70, so it's a little expensive, but hopefully those are all printed pieces like they have been on most of the helmets. So if you've got the others, could be worth picking up. If not, I don't think anyone's really going out of their way to get to AT-AT Driver compared to something like Darth Vader. Next, we've got a Fast and Furious Technic car for $60 with 810 pieces. This one's not too bad, a lot of stickers on it, but I just wanted to highlight it because I like the nice use of like the new orange color, I believe, on this one, so it could be worth it if you're into the Technic cars. Next up, we've got a Creator 3-in-1, so this is a record player, which is not the same record player they just did as a gift with purchase. This is different, so it can be transformed into a few things. I think it looks worse than the gift with purchase one, of course, because that's just how Lego does things recently, but they've got a few options that make it look good, but this is pretty tiny, even for a play record player for $30. Just not really something I'm interested in. Next up, we've got a new animal. We've got a flamingo. So they've got a bunch of stuff here recently. It's a 3-in-1 as well. They did like the panda, and you can make the little mudkip there, whatever it's called, and the another pink bird, that kind of thing. But I think this will be a fun set, and it'll display nicely, especially in the flamingo version. This one I actually am interested in. It's been coming soon for like a couple months now, or maybe even longer, that they were releasing a new night bus, and it's something I missed out one of the original ones there, and I think it's a good pop culture reference from Harry Potter to have driving around your city, so I'm definitely going to pick this up. It is $50 for 499 pieces, so the price per piece works out, but it's a little expensive, so I might need to wait for a good gift with purchase or double points or for it to go on sale before I eventually get it. But I will be getting this one. I just think it's a lot for what it is, especially with probably a number of stickers and only 3 minifigures, looks like. Wait, hold on. 4 minifigures, I stand mistaken. And the nice dog / Grim. We've got a little bit of Minecraft. I won't highlight all the new ones coming out, but there are a few of them. But this one I just thought was fun. I don't really know what's going on here. Some sort of fighting ring, which I thought was interesting for Lego. So, hey, if you're into it, it's new there. This is a new concept they're doing here with like Disney. They're like dresses, so kind of like the helmet line in a way, but it comes with like the mini doll, but you can do like the dress, so they're going to maybe do a number of these, I'm sure, over the next year or so, because they've got Cinderella here, and they've also got Maleficent and Cruella de Vil on the next one, kind of a 2-in-1 pack for $70 though, so I don't know if it's going to be everybody's top choice, because it's not really a play with type set, but maybe it'll work out. This is another cool one I've been interested in for $35, 229 pieces, little expensive, but you get Thanos and the Hulk in a little Hulk smash monster truck. Those look like stickers because it is a 7+ set there, so that's a little disappointing, but otherwise it looks fun. Definitely a good one for kids, especially if it's on sale at some point, and the minifigures look good. So it could be one worth picking up for sure. Next one, we've got a new city set here, Off-Road Police Chase. That was the new police sets on the shelves there. So this one looks pretty good. $40 for 467 pieces. You get 4 minifigures and like 3 vehicles. So again, I'm looking for a good, affordable set that's fun to play with, especially for kids or even myself there. So you can get a lot of good play out of something like this. You can see all kinds of switching around and chasing some criminals and all of that, and I think this is a nice looking set for sure. Next one, this is a fun one I'm probably gonna pick up. This is Hey Hey from Moana / Moana 2, as the box shows the branding of. Just a buildable character, $40 for 566 pieces. Big fan of the movies, so that's probably going to be a pickup at some point. Next one, as you've probably already seen as well, this is the Vincent van Gogh Sunflower, so another Vincent van Gogh set. This one is interesting. I like that they've kind of went away from like the dot art and started doing more art like this, because I think it looks great, especially if you're really into something like this. And this is one of those sets I like to say that helps folks get into Lego. You might buy this if you're kind of into the art more than actual Lego, which in turn will make you buy more Lego. So that's kind of their idea, kind of reaching into some different maybe audiences and customers there. So we'll have to see how this does. I think from a distance it looks okay. I think it looks okay compared to the original, a little weird, but I think they did good enough. $200, 2,615 pieces. Not for me. I'm not really into the art right now, but definitely a cool one if you are. This is an interesting one, the Evolutions of STEM. This is a Lego Ideas set. I'm a big fan of the Lego Idea program and what they do and kind of what they try and put together to do some more unique sets that we might not get otherwise. As a nice little one-off here, you get 3 nice minifigures. I believe we've got Isaac Newton here, George Washington Carver, and Marie Curie? Something like that. She did like physics and chemistry or something like that. Thus the little vial there. The set itself, it looks like it kind of displays a little weird. It'd be interesting to see it like on a bookshelf because it looks kind of small and it kind of looks like a little bit of a mess. But I love the idea, no pun intended, behind it. I think it looks pretty good. So I probably will get this at some point, maybe just not first thing. One I will be picking up as soon as possible is going to be the new Lilo and Stitch Beach House. I think this is great. I love that they're doing more with this IP. It's one of their most popular ones with Disney there is Stitch itself there. So people have been wanting more and more, and they've been doing it recently. So we've got a new Stitch minifigure, a little different than some of the old ones, but we've got Mr. Bubbles. I wish they could have done a little more. If this one does well, I'm sure they'll do some more with it. It's a little overpriced, but I think it'll be okay. Even the open back isn't too bad here. I'm not too upset with that. I think it will look great next to something like the Up House and like Snow White's Cottage and those kind of sets there that all have those open backs, but are just iconic houses from the movies. Let's check out some of the sales on the Lego website. Some of the usual suspects. Got the Disney Palace of Agrabah, some of the Brickheads, Christmas stuff, some of the Star Wars things that are retiring, key change. Too crazy here, so I think there's not going to be a lot of that, but always check shelves at Walmart and such because they're still getting rid of the old stock that might be hanging around. That's where I was able to get a set recently. One of the Jurassic Park sets for $30, so you always got to check it out. Even this time of year when we're getting into March, they'll still trying to get rid of some of the old stock sometimes. Let's do a quick check-in on the Bricklink Designer Program. In our last news video, make sure you subscribe because that's when they went live here, so some of these are probably sold out now. You could see kind of what's been going on here. Yeah, you could see the ones that are sold out, the little encampment. This thing isn't. This is still available, and the train is still available, but I'm sure is going to sell out soon. Looks like there's only about 2-ish days left, so by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be about done. So if you're interested, check it out. Otherwise, you got to check it out in the aftermarket, but I'm sure those will be closing down soon. I'm a little surprised they didn't sell out as well as I thought. I knew like the medieval stuff always does well, but I'm surprised the train didn't do as well because there's a lot of good train folks there. But I mean, it's almost sold out, so maybe. But I'm not surprised by this one, the Riverside Scholars or the Riverboat, because what are you going to do with those, right? But I think that will do it for today. Let me know in the comments what you're planning on picking up here in March 2025. I've got a few ones there. I think Lilo and Stitch is the top of the list for me, but a couple other ones probably on the way. Leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to Old Mountain Bricks for even more content coming your way. Until next time, thanks for coming by. Have a good one.